Hi, I'm Dixie Roulette Jeffrey. I am a certified coach and I am passionate about being mentally healthy. I want to share with you today what it's like to be a mentally unhealthy person. And if you can't relate to it, add that to your grateful list. It's definitely not something that you want to understand. If you do, I hope that this will give you some hope and some peace. If you can relate to any of these things I'm going to talk about. So first of all, I want to just kind of reiterate the fact that our mental health is kind of a component of several different things. It's our thought processes, the thoughts that we think. It's also our belief system, things that we believe inside. That inner voice, I've heard it called a roommate or an inner coach, different things like that. We all have a voice inside of us that talks all the time. We also have patterns and kind of programs, they call it, the things that we've learned that we've picked up over time. So all of those things together really make up our mental health. Just keep that in mind. So some of the things to be aware of is, first of all, a lot of times people that are mentally unhealthy don't know that they're mentally unhealthy. The way that they do things, the way that they think, the way they process information, it's all they know. They've never done it any differently. They may see other people that are doing better, but typically what that does in a mentally unhealthy person is it just reiterates the fact or confirms the fact that you already think you're defective. You think there's something wrong with you, that you're not like other people. That like I said, that you're just not right, that there's something wrong with you, but you don't think of it as like health, like if I exercise this or if I get healthier in this way, I can be better. You literally think that you're broken and defective. Some of the things that go along with being mentally unhealthy are feeling powerless, that things are happening outside of your control, that you don't have any control of what's going on or even how you feel. It feels like you're on a roller coaster ride, and if we could, we'd get off. We just don't want to be on this ride that you feel like you don't have any control over. It also, a lot of the things that you deal with in life, external things, because life happens to all of us, right? But those are not the hard part. Those are not the biggest struggles for a mentally unhealthy person. Really what is the hardest is what's going on the inside when regular life events take place. So I'll talk about that a little bit more. Feeling helpless is something that goes along with being mentally unhealthy. I remember seeking help, going to counseling. I even tried antidepressants. I got up and did physical exercise. I tried anything because I just felt like there's got to be something I could do, but nothing I did seemed to make a difference. And that was probably the most frustrating part for me, was the harder I tried to fix this, the worse it seemed to get. I remember hearing things like, just fake it till you make it, and different things like that. And I couldn't do it. I didn't know how. I didn't know what it was. People would tell me, you're bringing these things on yourself. You're choosing these kind of things, whatever it was. Choose how you feel. Those kind of. I didn't know how. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know. How to fix the problem. It just felt like they were pointing out, hey, you're defective. There's something wrong with you. And every time it would just be inside of myself, I'd say, I know there's something wrong with me. I know I'm not right. I know I'm, defective or whatever it was. So it didn't help me. It didn't give me hope. It didn't, encourage me to do something different. So really frustrating. So I just want to give you some examples of maybe the difference between what a mentally unhealthy person does and what a mentally healthy person would do. Something as simple as making a mistake, right? We all make mistakes. There's no one who doesn't make mistakes. For a mentally unhealthy person, when you make a mistake, you then go inside, and the barrage that takes place is just horrible. It's like, you're so stupid. Why did you do that? The thoughts start coming, and then it's almost like your inner voice goes along with it. I know, I can't believe you did that. I can't believe I did that. I'm so stupid. What is wrong with me? Just kind of reiterates all of those things that you're already feeling. Whereas a mentally healthy person may look at a situation where they've made a mistake and they say, dang it, that's not what I wanted to do. They may look at it and say, what can I learn from that situation? How could I do better next time? It's almost like, for a mentally unhealthy person, everything's internal. Even though it's happening externally, it becomes something internal, where a healthy person can see it as an external thing. I made a mistake, but that's not who I am. It doesn't change my value or things like that. Rejection is another huge one. Oh my gosh. for me, rejection was, detrimental to my soul. You go through a breakup or a relationship and something like that. For a mentally unhealthy person, it's a direct reflection of you. I'm not worth loving. There's something wrong with me that, it's all my fault that this person doesn't love me or that they don't want to be with me or whatever it is. Where I feel like emotionally, a mentally healthy person might look at that and say, we weren't a good fit. There were things about us that were different, that maybe this isn't meant to be. Maybe that person has issues that don't go along with me. And, I think even a mentally healthy person has spurts of unhealthiness or, things that definitely don't work very well. But I think for a mentally unhealthy person, we have spurts where things do work good. So a little bit different context. It's something as simple as like not understanding something. You're trying to learn something, right? I'm a training supervisor at work, so I deal with a lot of people who are learning to do a job. They've never done it before. They're just learning how. And a mentally unhealthy person, and I've experienced this myself, when you go in and there's all this information and you're trying to understand it, you also have that process going on inside of you that says, you're so stupid. Why can't you do this? It's so easy. Everybody else can do it. Why can't you do it? It just tearing you down and making it even, like twice as difficult to learn a new skill. Whereas, somebody who is mentally healthy may look at a situation and say, okay, I don't know it now, but I'll figure it out. I'll get it. I'll understand. It may take me a little bit of time, but I'll get this. It's not like it's impossible or, again, it's almost like it's external. Now, I'm going to get this, whereas an unhealthy person takes it internally. If I don't understand this, that means there's something wrong with me, that I'm stupid, I'm defective. It's kind of crazy because even in situations like good things, when good things happen, a mentally unhealthy person doesn't really know how to process that information. So like, you get a promotion at work or somebody gives you a compliment or, you get a raise, anything that, something nice that happens. A mentally unhealthy person will basically look at those things and say, it's not going to last. Something's going to happen. This is a fluke. There must be a mistake. It's almost like you're not even able to receive the good things that happen in life. Especially like, somebody loves you or somebody likes you and there's always that voice inside that, yeah, they don't really know you. If they really knew you, they wouldn't like you. And it's really an awful place to be. Whereas I think, with a mentally healthy person, when good things happen, they say, thank you. This is awesome that this is happening in my life. And I'm grateful for it. And, I'm going to enjoy every minute while I can. And, if somebody loves you or likes you, you say, that's great. You enjoy the feeling and you like them back and things like that. So, hopefully that gives you kind of an idea of what takes place. I know, for me, a lot of times people say, well, just don't think that way or just think positive or just have a good attitude. Or I didn't know how. I literally didn't know how. And each one of those, words of advice or, people were trying to help me actually just confirmed what I already felt inside. That, that I was wrong, that I was a mistake, that there was something wrong with me. Why can't I just be positive? Why can't I just have a good attitude? Why can't I just control how I feel? All those things was so frustrating. So kind of what happened for me, what changed for me was, first of all, recognizing I kind of had to realize it and experience it. The fact that I could choose, that I could control how I felt. It was almost like somebody, empowered me to say, you don't know how to do this yet, but I can show you how, and it will make a difference. And so it was kind of, and that was through asking questions. So I know I've talked about that before. The other thing that was huge for me, and it really feels like it set me free, was to recognize that all those things going on inside of me are not me. They're not you. Your thoughts are not you. Those voices are not you. You are in there. And really, I told you about Michael Singer. He talks about the fact that you're observing these different things. So it just set me free. It was like, that's not me. And I could almost look at it from the outside, rather than being so entrapped by all those things that were going on and feeling like that was me. Recognizing how crazy our thoughts are, that they really don't make a lot of sense sometimes. Another thing that was really helpful for me, and I've talked about this, I wrote a story about this. is kind of picturing a place inside of you that's like a garden, a place that needs to be taken care of, and you're really the only one that can do it. You're the only one who knows where it is, and it's specific for you, and you need to take care of it. And so kind of recognizing that and picturing it in my mind, picturing this garden that, I hadn't taken care of. It had been neglected, and, I'd let weeds grow. I'd let people throw garbage. I'd thrown garbage in there. And, and now it was my, recognizing, okay, it's my job. I need to go in there and take care of this. I need to clean this up. And recognizing not only was I part of this garden, this is part of me, but also I'm the one who needs to take care of it. It was empowering. It was like, hey, I can go in there, and if there's weeds in there, if there's things in my garden that I don't want, I can get rid of those. And I can help people learn how to do that, because it was just so freeing to be able to say, you know what, this is my place. And I think, the other thing that was really important was for me to understand, this wasn't my fault. I didn't choose, hey, I'm going to be mentally unhealthy and have a miserable life. Things have happened in my life, and I think things happen in a lot of people's lives, that had kind of pre-programmed, had kind of set me up. I can't remember exactly what they call it, neurologistic something. It's basically when you become aware of something, then you see it everywhere. And so I think that's, things like that happened in my childhood made me very aware of every mistake I made, of everything I did wrong. I don't know if you've ever had the experience, maybe you look at a new car. I remember I'd never seen this specific car before. I think it's a Land Rover. Never seen one before. And I saw it. And then I said, oh, I want one of those. That's really cool. I like that car. And all of a sudden, I saw them everywhere. I'd never even noticed them before. But now it was like every other car was one of those. Just becoming aware of something, then it starts, it brings it to mind and you become aware of it. So I think that's kind of what happens with being mentally unhealthy. Like I said, I always get so passionate when I talk about this stuff, because it's so important to me, and it has been so life-changing to see these things, to learn these things, and to begin to walk in them. And I just want to, share it with everyone so that they can have that experience as well. I encourage you, if you like this video, like it. If there's anything, if you have questions or you want to discuss or tell me your situation, I would love to hear it. I have a website, peacewithincoaching.com. My email is dixiemay@live.com. I would love to hear from you. Thank you for spending your time with me. Have a great day.